All right, what is up, YouTube? Imco40 here. We are going to be covering the, I believe, yes, the Blue Ox OTS Championship. The first list we're going to be looking at here is actually Chase Conklicken. I believe he went undefeated the entire event, which is pretty cool, actually. He wanted me to emphasize for you guys that he actually went undefeated so you all understood the power of this deck. And I talked a little bit about this deck's power ceiling and things like that to kind of come out of the current format, and this is very much a primary example of just I hate Guard Dragon Crusadia. So we have three copies of Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, triple copies of Arborea, triple copies of Crusadia Draco, triple copies of Leonis, triple copies of Maximus, triple copies of Reclusia, and one copy of Destrudo, one copy of Gamma Seal, one copy of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, triple copies of Rescue Cat, one copy of Rocket Synchron. So you guys remember how we talked about a little while back about quick launch being a means to kind of speed up the process, being able to splash summon one rocket from your deck, but it cannot attack and it'll also destroy during the end phase. So you actually have access to the Rocket Tuner in your deck, which doesn't do anything too special. I mean, on normal summon it revives level 5 or higher, but we don't really care about that. But level 1 Dragon Tuner, and well, here we are. we play it now. So we have two copies of Wyvern Buster, triple copies of Called by the Grave. Oh look, it's the thing that makes the world go round. Hey, you guys want Gamma Steel to have multiple negates? Well, you have it. One copy of Monster Reborn, triple copies of Quick Launch, and of course we have triple copies of one copy of Rhoda, two copies of Terraforming, one copy of World Legacy Guard Dragon, and one copy of Succession, wrapping up the main deck. Down here in the extra deck, we have one copy of Triple Burst, two copies of Cerusia, one Phoenix, one Pisty, one Alpi, one Bringing the Pain, one Spatha, two Magius, one Equimax, one Borreload, one Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, one Quantum Dragon, and one Boral Savage Dragon, wrapping up this extra deck. Side deck here, we have one Dogomon, triple copies of Droll, one copy of Ella Fun, one copy of Jizukaru, one copy of Radion. Of course, the Naturia Beast is side decked. We have one copy of Interrupted Kaiju Slumber for the extensive extra Kaijus we play, triple copies of Twin Twister, and triple copies of Red Reboot, wrapping this up. So that's the first place list. Over here in the second place department, oh man, Altergeist. And I've just been beating this deck to a pulp all week, talking about like, oh, if you play this deck, like, you're gonna struggle. But the OTS championships are more or less geared towards local events, so I'm not shocked to see this. This is David Sedano's deck. So we have one copy of Kunguri, triple copies of Marionetter, triple copies of Melozeek, triple copies of Multifaker, and two copies of Siliguidos with triple Ash and two Ogre. Interesting choice to not include Ash Blossom. I'm also essentially intrigued by, well, actually monster lineup's pretty straightforward. I don't see any complaints. Effect value is going to be your most value that you're going to get out of this. Spells literally just 3 Extravaganza, 3 Secret Village, 1 Terraforming. I think the thing that we kind of take for granted when we look at decks like this is this deck was so good at locking out Sky Strikers, but when the rest of the format just kind of plays around Secret Village, and then like the usability that you get out of this card just literally goes to the wayside, and it's very disappointing to see that, but that's how the format has developed at this point. Traps, we have one copy of Manifestation, 2 Protocol, literally staple. We have 2 copies of Heavy Storm Duster, 1 copy of Imperial Order, 2 copies of Infinite Impermanence, triple copies of Personal Spoofing, 2 copies of Rivalry Warlords, 1 Judgment, and 2 Strikes. Down here in the extra deck, we have 1 copy of Cerusia, 1 copy of Sunlight Wolf, 2 copies of Link Rebo, 1 copy of Unicorn, 1 Phoenix, 1 Electromite, 1 Equimax, 1 Borreload, 1 copy of Prime Banshee, 1 Kadolga, triple Hextia, and 1 Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Side deck, we have triple Battle Fader. That's an interesting check choice. I don't think I've seen Battle Fader be used in a long time. 2 copies of Prankatops, triple copies of Ghost Reaper. Explains a lot of his choices in his extra deck. 2 copies of Herald of the Abyss, interesting, along with triple copies of Evenly and 2 copies of Wiretap. Interesting to see Battle Fader, though, actually seeing play in this day and age. Kudos to this interesting tech choice. I don't know if I would have considered that in the long run, but all right, I see what you did there. Interesting tech choice. All right, moving on along, we have Edward Farmer, I believe the third or fourth. This is, well, a little bit of love to Orcust, actually. Interesting. So this finished third. I'm not too shocked to see that this did actually terribly well at the OTS. Like, this deck is the sleeper deck of the format, and I do stress that a lot because just the combos and the stuff that you can actually execute through with this deck, I think a lot of people underestimate this. I don't know if they just don't want to like learn the general combos and things like that, but the deck is really just that good. So we have one copy of Collapse Serpent, one copy of Bigfoot, two copies of Chupacabra, triple copies of Mothman, triple copies of Nessie, triple copies of Jackalope, triple copies of Tsuchinoko, one Dark Grepher, triple copies of Distrudo. Hey, look, you remember that card that we've talked about all format that is essentially a staple and no matter what you want to play? Well, here he is. I hate how much money this card is. We have two copies of Jizukuru, one copy of Mermere, one copy of Symbol Skeleton and Harp Horror, and two copies of the Brick. And then, of course, we have triple copies of Phantom Skyblaster. Looking forward into the next format, I don't know if I would be shocked to see this card go to 1, because he's just been kind of on the back burner of troublesome like decks for the longest time. Like, Goki was abusing this as a combo extender. Like I said, I wouldn't be shocked to see this card actually just get cleaned up. We have one copy of Radion, triple copies of White Wyvern Buster, and we have one World Wand with triple Sekka's Light. I also wouldn't be shocked to see Sekka's Light pacingly get placed to 2. The extra deck, we have one copy of Triple Burst Dragon, one Rusty Tin Can, one Summon Sorceress, one Longrisu, one Link Kribo, one Link Spider, one Unicorn, one Phoenix, one Mermaid, one Cerberus, one Galtea, one Boral Sword, one Borreload, one Time Thief, and one Yazi. The side deck, we have triple copies of Denko's Rekka, two copies of Prankatops, one copy of Silent Boots and Azathoth and the Ring Up Magic. There's no point in including these in the main deck, especially when you have, Sekka's Light. You just kind of appropriately side deck in a different engine for this, and you'll have the same support ability. Triple copies of Twin Twister, triple copies of Red Reboot, and one copy of Rusty Tin Can. So once again, to see this deck get third at this event, I'm not necessarily disappointed with that result, as I'm sure a lot of you guys aren't either. And the last deck I have for you guys today is, wow, True Draco, piloted by Sharif Pierce, actually. Congratulations on this. I get so excited when I see decks like this, because True Draco as a whole has been, well, it's doing decent in the format. Once again, like, yeah, I understand, like, the format evolves, things like that. But for the most part, call it what it is. But it's still True Draco. I understand it's anti-meta. People don't like playing anti-meta. Somebody even commented the other day and said, oh my god, like, playing True Draco makes you so dumb. And it's like, no, that's not how it works, guy. But okay, you clearly understand how Yu-Gi-Oh works. So, let's dig on into this. So we have one copy of Dynamite. We have triple copies of Ignis, triple copies of Majesty Maiden, and one copy of Metatron. I'm shocked to see that Metatron made it into the main deck. Obviously, most builds just go with these 7, and it's kind of what they need. But I understand that having Metatron for just the superpower is good. You won't have anything to pull from the extra deck when your opponent manages to answer this. Triple copies of Card Demise, triple copies of Disciples, triple copies of Dragonic Diagram, triple copies of Duality, 2 copies of Strike of the Monarch. So we've talked about this before, but you contribute 1 face-up level 5 or higher normal summon or set monster, then target 1 face-up card on the field, negate its effects, and then draw a card. The effects remained negated until the end of this turn. During your main phase of this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card and then declare 1 attribute. All face-up monsters currently on the field will become the attribute until the end of this turn. Really cool things that you can do with this card. We have 2 copies of Terraforming, 2 copies of Monarch Stormforth. We thought that this card was broken. I mean, like, this card was good, but, like, it wasn't amazing. But yeah, 2 of it. Triple copies of Heritage, 1 copy of Skill Drain, triple copies of Monarch's Erupt, triple copies of There Can Only Be One, triple Apocalypse, 1 Return, and 2 copies of Waterfall. The side deck here, we have triple copies of Inspector Border, triple copies of Sphere Mode, 2 copies of Shared Red, triple copies of Evenly Matched, 1 Imperial Order, and we have triple copies of Red Reboot wrapping this up. So congratulations to all of you that played at the Blue Ox OTS Championship. I hope that you guys had fun. Thanks for submitting this information. I hope that everybody that played in this event. Like I said, you guys did well. I enjoy spreading information like this. If you guys have deck lists, send it in. I am backlogged at the moment, so I'll try to process these as much as I can. Just give me time to get out the information. So, all right, guys, I'm out. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.